What is up, guys? It is Spooky Noodles, and it is almost 12 o'clock at night. I am having trouble sleeping, so I thought I would do a quick TBR video. Yeah, um, it's gonna be very quick. I don't really want to put too much on my plate and make it really hard for me down the line. Like, I don't like focusing. I just like choosing my next book at will. But I'm gonna try to do my best to stay on track and get some reading done, and read some of the books I always have on my TBR. So, first I want to start off with the first book I'm reading, which is The Taste of Blood by John Ethan. This is a fantastic book so far. I am on page 101, chapter 13. Very, very good book so far. I really am impressed, and I really, really like this book. Spoiler alert, it might make my top 5 favorite coming of age lists. So, it might be one of my favorite books of all time. That's how good this book is so far. But I'm currently reading this, and I'm listening to Goon by Edward Lee and John Peelin, I think it was. That one's a different story than this book. That one I'm not really quite enjoying too much. But I'll get into it when I do my review. It's not a bad book, don't get me wrong, but I'll get to it when I get to it, okay? But for now, let's just leave it at, I'm mixed feelings about it right now. So that is my two things I'm reading at the moment. I'm reading The Taste of Blood by John Ethan and Goon by Edward Lee and John Peelin, I think it was, or Josh Peelin, one of the two. So what am I reading next? There's a few audiobooks that I have to get through. I think the next audiobook I do is going to be a shorter one. So, trying to think of which one I should do. Don't do it, James. I have to hold the books now because he's about to jump up on the bed. Oh, thanks, James. So there's a few audiobooks I have that I need to get through. I have like Mike Duke's Where the Gods Sleep, which I'm looking very forward to it because when he wants to do cosmic horror, he can do it very well. I've seen it with Fear of the Gods by or Fear of the Gods, one of the two. That book was fantastic, and I cannot wait to read more Mike Duke. I also have one by Lucas Mangum, which was like Saint Sadist or something like that. I forget what the book's called. I have just a lot of audiobooks I need to get through. And I love listening to audiobooks because I just love it. So I have a lot of audiobooks, so maybe I'll update this TBR in a few more days with the audiobook narrations I'll do. Or not do, but I'm not going to narrate anything, but I don't have the voice for narrations. But if I did, then that would be awesome. I used to try to narrate stories. That's how this channel started, was a narration channel. I would narrate creepypastas. But anyways, that's besides the point. I'm gonna listen to a lot of audiobooks. There's a few that I really want to watch, or can't talk today. Listen to. There's a John Ethan book that I want to listen to. But now that I've tasted John Ethan's writing, and he says this is one of his least, this book right here is one of his least, like, he says it's tame for him. And, I think that's pretty awesome. I mean, this is a good freaking story, so I highly recommend this book. But anyways, back to the TBR. I'm listening to Goon by Edward Lee and John Peelin, and then The Taste of Blood by John Ethan. There's a few books I'd like to add to this list. because I'm starting to get back into that coming of age mood. So I've been writing a lot of coming of age, and I've been reading some coming of age, obviously with The Taste of Blood. But I do want to, because I get really, what's the word? It it doesn't really stay, like, I never can, like, fully commit to, like, a TBR consisting of only coming of age novels and novellas and stuff like that, because my brain can't, it's like an overload of coming of age, and then I start thinking less and less of some of the stories that I read, even though coming of age is my favorite. Getting too much of the same thing over and over again is not good for anybody. So at least for me it is. I mean, I don't know. But so I like to change it up with other stuff. So what I have here is a TBR, After the Taste of Blood and Goon by Edward Lee and John Peelin, and The Taste of Blood by John Nathan. This are the books I'm going to read. I just want to start off with the first book I have here, which is Yellow by Aaron Beauregard. My copy is signed. Aaron Beauregard is such a cool dude, and I really want to support him. I really like Died Tommy. That being said, I did say that last TBR that I only had like 3 books on that TBR, and I read 2 books on that TBR, so I did pretty good. This was on that TBR, and yeah, I'm pushing this one back a little bit though, so this is like probably in the back of the TBR. So just like imagine this is all reordered, and this is actually in the back. So this is the last book on the TBR right now. I'm not saying this is like the current TBR. There's another backlog TBR that I don't even want to talk about because it's so big and so long. It's like basically my whole library. So yeah, but Yellow is going to be at the back of these. I think there's 4 books here, including this one. So this is the 4th book in the TBR. So yeah. Okay, next. I don't know which one I'm going to read next. I just have these as a collective of books that I need to read. And by need, I mean want. I also have a e-copy or a EPUB file on my computer, or a Mobi. I'm not really sure what it is. It might even be a PDF for all I know. Actually, I think it is a PDF, and I'm running it through a little software so I can read it like a Kindle, but it's not Kindle. But I have my friend's book, Awakened in Blood, I believe it's called, by Daniel J. Volpe. Dude is hardcore worker. He's been pumping out some work like crazy, and I think he's gonna be the next big splatterpunk. Like, he's gonna win the award soon, like the Splatterpunk Awards. I feel like he is making his way to the top of the food chain. I got something in my mouth. I haven't eaten like hours, so I don't know what could be in my mouth, but you don't want to know what I put in my mouth. I'm just kidding. But what was I saying? Daniel J. Volpe is just a really good writer, and he can really gross you out if he wants to, and he tells a really interesting story as well. So I really applaud his storytelling because it's just phenomenal. He made a asshole druggie like interesting, which is awesome. And I'm talking about Billy Silver, my bad. I'm about to burp, so I apologize. Excuse me. I'm gross. Yeah, Billy Silver was amazing, and I want to read his Awakened in Blood. The cover's amazing. The cover's just amazing. I love the cover. Billy Silver also has a new cover, so I have the original paperback signed in my bookshelf, so maybe that will be like a rare edition one day. But I'm gonna probably buy when I can, because right now money's really tight. I'm going to buy a new copy of Billy Silver, hopefully signed, and yeah. Sorry, a little tired. I'm really excited about this Awakened in Blood story by, I'm hoping I'm saying that right, by Daniel J. Volpe. I don't know what it's about, but the cover of this looks amazing, and I know my friend can write, so yeah, I'm gonna read some that. So that EPUB or PDF file is on my laptop, and I'm gonna read that soon. And then when he gets some signed copies, I'm going to buy some signed copies. I mean, I'm going to buy one signed copy. Why would I buy multiple signed copies? I don't know. Maybe I'll do a giveaway. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe not. Probably not. But, yeah, I, want to get the word out about Daniel J. Volpe, though. Just like Aaron Beauregard, very sick writer, and, you got to be into extreme or splatterpunk, you know, in order to like him, because it's downright depraved at times, his writing, and when that's what I like. Right now, that's what I'm really into. So it's, oh, Lula's paws are, she's having a running dream, so her paws are twitching. It's so cute. Anyways, it's like she's trying to hold my arm. It's in her sleep. It's so cute. But anyways, yeah, Daniel J. Volpe, Awakened in Blood is gonna be somewhere on this list as well. I don't have too many ebooks on this on this list, but that's one of them. I'm probably gonna read it a little. I don't know the order of these books. I don't know what the order is gonna be, but order. I can't. It sounds like I'm saying odor. The order of these books, I don't know what I'm gonna read next. All I know is these are the collective books that I want to read soon. And a lot of them are short. So, but Awakened in Blood by Daniel J. Volpe is on the list. Like I said, Yellow's on the list by Aaron Beauregard. And then we'll move on to the other books. So this one is by Elizabeth Bedlam. I'm hoping I'm saying her name right. Bedlam, maybe? Bedlam. This one's called Scrape, and I know you're not going to be able to see the cover very well. Maybe you will. This is by a Michigander author, and she is actually 1 hour away from Hell, Michigan, it looks like, from the back of her book. I'm not stalking her. I'm just reading her about the author. I'm looking really forward to reading this book. It just sounds like erotic horror, and I love erotic horror. I have no idea what it's about, really. I read the synopsis online, and it was one of her longer works. This is a novella. And, I actually don't even know if there's any chapters in this book. I think it's just one solid story, so there's no really breaks in this thing. But, yeah, there's no chapters. But, this is called Scrape by Elizabeth Bedlam. And, I think it's about, from what I recall, it's about this, I wish there was a synopsis, but, this book is about this guy, this is a really depraved book, by the way. It's not for the faint of heart. As you can see, there's a cat in a hanger and blood. So if that, insinuates anything, just know that, I hope that's not offensive to you guys, but, it's not offensive to me, so, yeah, this is an extreme horror novel, so don't go buying this if you're weak of the heart, or, not weak of the heart, but, oh, what's this expression? I can't think of the expression at the moment, but, if you are, you're not used to extreme horror like I am, well, I'm not even that used to it, I'm just getting into it, really, but, I can handle some pretty tough subjects, and, for a lot of people, this might be tough for them. This is about this guy who, he loses his job somehow. I forget how. But he decides to take up the job of doing back alley abortions. And he meets this woman, and I think she's trying to stop him. I'm not really sure. I can't remember, but, yeah, it's about back alley abortions. So, yeah, this might not be for everybody, but two things about this. One, she's a female, and two, she's in Michigan. She's a Michigander. And three, I meant to say three things. Daniel J. Volpe gave her a highly recommendation. Or I can't think of words at the moment. I'm tired, but I can't go to sleep. I'm wired and tired. Um, he gave this flying colors. Like, he gave a great review for this book, and it made me want to buy it. And then when I found out she was a Michigander, I was like, yes, I need to read this. And like I've said before, I think women can write the best horror, you know? Like, I know there's some good male horror writers, you know? But I feel like women, maybe it's because I like erotica. Well, not erotica, straight up erotica. It has to have horror elements in it in order for me to read it. But horror erotica is... I like Nikki Noir's writing in the Welcome to the Splatter Club. She had a erotic horror story in it, and it was really good. And then I'm reading I was reading The Resurrectionists by Wrath James White, which is a little bit erotic as well at times. So I think I might have a thing for horror erotica. And this one just sounds like it's gonna be horror erotic, but I might be wrong. This might not be anything erotic about it. That kind of rhymed. I'm just looking forward to this book. It comes in... I haven't really told you how many pages the other books are, but this book comes in at 95 pages. So, I'm looking really forward to reading this. It's a short little read, so I feel like I can knock this out in 5 days. I know that sounds crazy. I should knock it down sooner than that, but I'm giving myself 5 days. I'm not saying that it's going to take me 5 days, but if I read 20 pages a day, I could finish this in 5 days. So I'm hoping I can finish this in 5 days. It sounds like a really fantastic novel, and the guy's name is Dennis. So that's my... if you don't know, Nicholas Gray is a pen name. I'll maybe tell you about the reason why I use a pen name, but for now, I'll leave you in the dark. But my actual last name is Dennis, and yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. So there was a lot of reasons why I bought this book, and I was only gonna get the ebook. You know, I bought 2 other ebooks by her, but the idea of this book and everything about it just screamed buy the paperback. So I bought the paperback. All right, we'll move on to the next book now. And this is a longer video, so my bad. But next we have The Boy by Rain Havoc. This is another one of my friends on Facebook. I'm looking really forward to reading this one. This one has a synopsis, so I can read it to you. This one comes in at 71 pages. She writes some really messed up horror, and her stuff is Lou's paws are starting to get into the camera view, so that's her paws right there. She's so cute. Rain Havoc's stories are unforgiving and unrelenting. It's really awesome to read her stuff. I read Boys Will Be Boys, and that was awesome with the gutsy ending to write, I think. I actually like it when my horror stories end up with horrifying endings, you know? Sometimes, horror stories will give you, horrific scenes, but then they reel it in at the end and, have a happy ending. It's that's sometimes it depends on the story, but it works, but sometimes I like it when the bad guys win, I like it when, you finish a book and you're pissed off, I just like that. So Rain Havoc did that to me. She got me riled up a little bit, and I really liked her. I really liked her story, Boys Will Be Boys. And so I went ahead and bought The Boy by Rain Havoc, and I'm going to read you the synopsis. So here we go. Chop has that familiar craving, the one that makes him itch, drives him crazy until he gets his release. Join him tonight as he invites himself into a friendly neighborhood home and indulges himself in all that is not offered. So this is a home invasion story, it sounds like. And this one's going to be a quick read. I can already tell. And I'm really looking forward to it. This one does have a warning in the beginning, I think. It has a copyright page and everything. Let's see here. This is a work of fiction. If you find any similarities whatsoever, they are coincidental. No part of this book shall be reproduced or copied without prior authorization from the author. This is for all you sickos out there, and of course B, who stands by me while I write disgusting and offensive things and still knows I'm a sweet girl. Aw. And then, it has a summary. I don't know why there's a summary in the inside of the book, but it's the same thing on the back. And then there's this warning. I am told this should have an extreme warning, because these things are always in my head and on my mind. I don't always consider them to be over the top. To some it may be run-of-the-mill, and to others it may be too much. If you feel like you may have an issue reading extreme stories, please don't bother with this one. You may be offended. This story has many graphic scenes of rape. Some may find offensive. Please remember that this is a work of fiction. And then it starts off with chapter 1. So, like I said, Rain Havoc is one of those authors I want to check more of. I hear great things about her. She does amazing reviews, so go check her out. Yeah, this is another short one, and I plan on just knocking out some of my shorter weeds. I can't read. I can't talk today. One of the shorter reads on my bookshelf. Same with Scrape. Like I said, this is 95 pages, and this one is 71 pages? What was it again? 71 pages, yeah. So, yeah. And then last, we have the last book on my TBR. And so, the story about this is that I kind of feel bad that I never... Because I read The Resurrectionists for Black History Month. Or at least that was my plan, was to finish that book for Black History Month. I want to read some of my favorite authors, and I thought it would be a good opportunity to knock out a book for Black History Month, because I feel like it's important to, I don't know. To be honest, it was just me giving myself a reason to read Wrath James White, to be honest, because Wrath James White is an awesome author. He's one of my favorites. I think I even have it in my biography, or not biography. In my bio, I have it as him as my second favorite author, right behind Ronald Kelly. And that might be true, but there are some other authors that are catching up with Wrath James White up there, like Aaron Beauregard and John Ethan. Wrath James White right now is my second favorite author of all time. And then I read The Resurrectionists, and I got to like the 200, somewhere around the 200, or I don't even know where I'm at in the book. I'm at like the halfway point in that book. So, I wanted to finish it for Black History Month, but I don't know. I have this, I don't know. The reason why I kind of stopped it is because it was getting a little repetitive. Not redundant to the point where it was super annoying, but, I just felt really bad for this poor girl, and it's like the same thing, and then all of a sudden we're spending like a lot of time talking about things that aren't really relevant to the story. Like, we're talking about what she's eating, or we're talking about her going and riding all the rides, and I don't know, maybe I'm reading, oh, well, that scared me. Lula shook her head in her sleep. She might actually be awake, I don't know, but, yeah, he took a lot of time talking about the rides and what she's eating, and I just feel like there was a lot of unnecessary scenes. I'm reading the leisure paperback. Maybe the new updated version is different, but I'm reading the leisure paperback, and I am kind of bored. So, and that's not usual because I read Skins by Wrath James White, and that was amazing. Although it did have some like grammatical mistakes or whatever you want to say. Um, that's because of the formatting. I think someone screwed up. I don't think it was Wrath James' fault. Um, Wrath James White's fault that the book had some errors inside. But the book was great. The story, I read them for the stories. I usually look past mistakes. As long as the story's good, I'm all for it. I know there's a lot of people who can't look past mistakes, and they'll look at the one little mistake, and it'll be in their head the whole time as they're reading, and they just can't get it out of their head, and then they quit the book. I'm not that kind of person. I love the story. I'll keep continuing it. I don't care if there's a mistake. I mean, I caught a mistake in one of my favorite books of all time, which is The Traveling Vampire Show by Richard Lehman. Um, he like was talking about the bullies, and there's such a brief part of the book it doesn't even matter, but he calls the bully the wrong name. Like the bully has a like there was three bullies, and then one of them was called something different than what his actual name was. I was like, wait, what? So I had to like reread it and then figure it out, and I was like, oh, okay, he's talking about this guy, but he used the wrong name. But besides that, I don't really. That didn't affect my reading. It's my second favorite coming of age story of all. It's my second favorite book of all time. So, or is it? Yeah, I think The Traveling Vampire Show is my favorite, one of my second favorite book of all time. Fear being number one. But alas, what I'm trying to say is Skins was great. Didn't really enjoy The Resurrectionists too much. I thought it started off like 5 stars, like halfway through the book, or not halfway, but halfway to the halfway point. I was enthralled. I was ready to see what happens, but then it started getting a little repetitive, and then we had a few like throwaway scenes, and it felt like I wasn't reading anything important. So I had to take a break from it. And the way I read, everything's spaced out for me. So I don't read anything in like I don't read like 50 pages in one sitting. I just don't do that. So and my friend, well, I don't know if I can consider him a friend, but I like to think he's a friend. I don't know. Uptown, he told me that maybe it's because I spaced it out. Like if I read it all in one sitting, maybe I would have enjoyed it more. And I think he might be right, but it's just not how I read. I have reading disability, so I'm dyslexic if you didn't know, but that's not the only reason why I have a reading disability. It's really hard for me to read. And even though I love reading, it's really hard for me to read. I'm switching up words, and I read the same line over and over again. I I really and I read slow, like on top of all those mistakes I make while I'm reading, I read really slow. So, okay, what does this have to do with what I'm about to say? I don't know. But yeah, I probably would have enjoyed The Resurrectionist more if I could read it all in one sitting, but I didn't. So, yeah. But I do plan on hopping back into The Resurrectionist in a few months from now. But right now, I'm trying to knock out all my small reads. But I do feel bad about that Resurrectionist book. I feel like I really should have finished that book. So I'm gonna read another Wrath James White book, and I'm reading one of his smaller novellas. One that I think is gonna be really good. And what am I talking about? I'm talking about His Pain by Wrath James White, obviously. I have no idea what this cover is. Is that supposed to be like, I don't know what that's supposed to be at all. I don't even know if it's even in the book, but that is a weird ass cover. I will say that up front. That is just the weirdest cover I've ever seen in my life. I don't know what this is supposed to be at all. That's obviously a mouth with some kind of rotting tongue, and then these are kind of hands curled up at the top here. But what's going on here? I don't understand it. Let me reiterate the back for you guys, because I'm not gonna read this whole long ass synopsis. But this guy is going through this disorder where everything hurts. Imagine that guy from SpongeBob when they're trying to go door to door to selling chocolate, and they knock on this guy's door, and he talks about how his skin is made out of paper, like mache, or paper mache, or something like that. His fingers are glass or something like that. He breaks his bones like every single day. He's in like a full body cast, and then they falls down the stairs, and they're like, "What can we do to help you?" And he's like, "Oh, buy." He's obviously scamming them. Well, that's kind of what I'm reminded of when I read the synopsis for this book. It's about a guy who has this disorder where everything hurts. He suffers pain all the time until this guy has a alternative to medicine that will cure him, and he's cured. But he basically, he's changed. He's a changed man. The pain leaves. It's gone now. But he wants to share his pain because he believes his pain made him a better person. So, yeah, he's going to share his pain. And this just sounded like a really good premise. It was between this one or Population Zero. Population Zero is similar to this one. Well, not really at all. Actually, Population Zero is about another guy who's basically crazy. This guy, he believes in population control for humans. So that's what Population Zero is. But his pain just sounds like a brutal, extreme story. Sorry, my nose is super itchy. His Pain by Ralph James White is just something I really want to read. And there's not much else to really say. It comes in, the font is super small, and it's a tall book, so the pages are going to be much longer than you think they are going to be. Oh, that's a book I want to read, Wereghoul. Sorry, I'm flipping the pages really slowly right now. Oh, come on, flip the page. There we go. My thumbs are so dry and calloused that it doesn't flip it well. Plus, I have this huge line going down my thumb because it has a scar on it. But this comes in at 79 pages, but it's more like 100 pages because of like the font size and the length of the book. So I'm gonna say that this is gonna be longer than what the page count actually is, which is 79 pages. But I'm still gonna really dig and probably fly through this book. I don't know if it has chapters. Why would I? I think this has chapters. Oh, and it actually starts on page 5. I think, yeah. So I'm looking really forward to reading this. This sounds fantastic. And I really feel bad for not finishing The Resurrectionists by Ralph James White. So I'm gonna pump out this one. And I know his short work, because Skins was a shorter piece of fiction. So I think it came in at like 180 pages. This one's 79 pages, so a small novella. I'm gonna read this one. This sounds just epic, so yeah. And like I said, I'm currently reading The Taste of Blood. I also have a bunch of audiobooks I need to read. I'm looking very forward to listening to all those audiobooks. I'm looking forward to every book on this TBR list. I'm sorry this video was so long. Hopefully now I can go to sleep now that I've got it out of the way. Not saying that this was something on my mind. I needed something to wear me out a little bit, and maybe this did the trick. Yeah, I think it did the trick, guys. So I'm gonna head to bed. I hope you guys are having a great day. I hope you have a spooky night. And I'll catch you in the next video. Peace out.